Hey Chidarin. Hey Bear. As always, I take it from you that I'm live, not from Twitch. That's barely loading. Yeah, okay, I'll take you at your word, Twitch. We're not lagging, are we? No, I think it's fine. We had some struggles with the internet earlier, but I hope it's fine. Yeah, okay. Alright, team. So, as mentioned, let's go back to this for a moment. Skip these lines so we can see the OP. Fingers crossed that it works. Hey, Mochan. So cute. Cute. Okay. I think I have to sit through these lines first, right? Okay, Erika, we get it. Let me go back to the main screen. Hey, everyone. Aw, don't cry, Chidorin. Oh my gosh. Come on, let me go back. There we go. Exit to title menu. There we go. So we've crossed this off the list. Thankfully, I managed to make it work, and we won't have issues from now on. Hopefully. Alrighty. Then let's pick it up where we left off. I forgot where we left off. Erika was looking for her special skill. Okay, and we decided that cooking wasn't it. Okay, now I'm back on track. So, thinking perhaps I could take pride in it as a special skill, I peek in on the choir club as they're practicing. But isn't Chidori singing there? Oh no, wait, she didn't like it in the end. It's a time loop. That's all good. They say that if you like something, you'll do well at it. In my case, though, suddenly imagining myself actually up there singing with them, I end up voicing my vehement refusal out loud. Oh god. Oh. I mutter to myself, making a beeline back to the dorms. I snap back. Sister Basket stops washing my legs. She smiles softly at me.
あまり顔に出ない方だと思っていたんですけどね。 ですか、八重垣さん。嘘をついてはいけません。競技としても、私個人としても悲しくなります。だが、嘘がうまいやつが大統領になれる。
I want to retort back, but not in the mood to try cracking jokes with Sister Basket. I merely nod vaguely.
それで何があったのですか？塞いだ顔をしていましたけれど。
I find myself instinctively patting my cheeks, wondering just how obviously I was pouting. Sister Basket elegantly covers her mouth with her hand to hide her smile.
聞かせていただけますか？
At her prompting, I tell her about my earlier conversation with the Sasakis and how it led me to try acquiring a special skill of my own. I leave out the part about how all this related to Takasaki.
そうですか。でも、八重垣さんは読書家ですし。それを特技とするのは違う気がするんです。趣味ならそうでしょうが、そもそも技とは違いますしね。
She furrows her brow over this difference in nuance and starts back on washing my legs. Her hands are creeping into dangerous territory again. Maybe because her mind's also wandering.
そうだ。なら、朗読はどうかしら。はい。
I'd assumed she understood why I didn't consider reading much of a skill, so I find myself questioning her rather frankly.
あら、聞いたことがないかしら。朗読なのだけど。
Recital. Interesting. My understanding of that word in English took me in a completely different place, but now I see what they mean. Because we have a similar one in Romanian which refers to reading out loud. Interesting. I don't think that's especially different to just reading. I'd do it if you were doing it too. Unfortunately, it's the second one. Okay. Okay. It suddenly occurs to me that I may not have been firm enough. Maybe she didn't cotton on to the fact that I was turning her down.
バスキア教諭も付き合ってくれるなら。
I answer her.
まあ、それは良い。なんて、朗読とか子供への読み聞かせでしょ。あれは特技とは言いませんよね。
Sure it is. Especially if you're doing it for kids. You have to do it in a way that engages them and, I don't know, I guess do voices and stuff. You can't just expect to be like a monotone, I'm just gonna read the words on the page and... Ay, Erika. Okay, let's see.
はい。どうしたんです？いえ。
I tilt my head as her shoulders droop in obvious dejection. Did I say something wrong?
一緒に学べると思ったのに。
Her whisper is so quiet that I can't quite catch what she's saying, and when I ask, she simply forces a smile.
まあ、長いスパンで考えてみますよ。
I think I'll try and keep an open mind, right? I leave it at that. I feel like every time we spend time with Sister Basket, we make her sad in one way or another. I don't particularly like that for some reason. Anyway, singing. I wake sluggishly to a faint but clear rhythm, already worming its way into my sleeping brain. The window is slightly open due to the heat, and through it is wafting a pleasantly cold breeze, along with a curious sound that you wouldn't even recognize as singing unless listening very closely. As I rub sleepily at my eyes, I recall having gone to the chapel yesterday in my quest for a special skill of my own. I feel my cheeks flush hotly as I picture myself singing, while wearing the cute uniform of the choir club.
やめだ、やめやめ。
Hideously embarrassed by this image, I pulled the covers up over my head to block out the singing from outside. It's hot and humid, but there's still a numbing drowsiness tugging at my brain. In the dark and the quiet, it's not long before I fall back into a calm sleep. A cloud in the shape of a cat floats above the distant forest. That's cute. I would love to see that. The sky is a bright, clear blue, and the large, fluffy cloud forming the cat's head stands out in sharp relief against the ridgeline. Today's gonna be another hot one, I think, as I gaze out the window at the sun beating down relentlessly, when I hear a voice.
今日は皆さんにお願いがあるの。
Sister Basket addresses the class after morning prayers. Turning forward to look at her, I see her smiling, both her hands clasped in front of her as though cradling some precious gem.
来週末に朗読劇があるのだけど、やってみたいと思う人はいないかしら。
A bewildered silence falls over the classroom.
ダリア先生、それだけでは何をおっしゃっているのか。
The president raises her hand and asks for clarification on the class's behalf. Sister Basket claps her hands together, looking bashful.
そうね、そうだわ。朗読劇というのは朗読よ。八重垣さんには話したわよね。はい。
She catches me off guard and I nod hurriedly, although the president still looks like she wants more of an explanation.
朗読劇は夏と冬の年に2度ほど行われる学院の行事なの。古くからある伝統のある行事なのよ。
After hearing this, she finally seems satisfied and nods.
朗読はただ小説や詩歌を音読するものではないの。感情を込め、その言葉の意味を理解し、耳にしている相手へと響かせる。聖書を読み解くためにも推奨されているの。そうだったのですか。学院案内のパンフレットには記されていなかったので、何かと。伝統のある行事だけれど、規模はそれほど大きくないから記されてなかったのではないかしら。この技能を収めていると、市職員や看護など就職する際にも有利なのよ。
Alright. If you say so. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Sister Basket's explanation has taken a relatively mundane turn, but the president is still nodding along, her braids shaking. She seems satisfied.
先生、来週末に開催するって話ですけど、それって全員参加なんですか？いいえ、人数は特に決まってはいないの。何人でも参加できるわ。
Going by my classmates' whispers, the majority seem to find the idea interesting, but also a bit embarrassing. This is a school for respectable young ladies after all, and there aren't many who are inclined to take the initiative and get up in front of an audience. Public speaking, I'm hiding behind my desk thinking about it. Yeah. I'm right there with you.
でも何人でも大丈夫なのだけど、読む本は一つなの。だから役が多い場合、振り分けられるけれど。
She looks around the class.
一人で何役も演じられる場合は、一人で参加しても良いのよ。
Oh, I'm so confused. Her eyes narrow as she smiles at us. Realizing that this means we'll have to go up on stage with very few people, the chatter immediately tapers off.
あなたは立候補しないの？はあ？なんで私が？あなた、本好きじゃない？
Yeah, but it's not necessarily... It doesn't immediately follow from that she would like to read things aloud to an audience. Takasaki is way off the mark. I turn to her saying, "You do it, you've got a good voice. Have you ever heard me reading aloud?" Oof. The first one is the choice. Keeping a wary eye on Sister Basket, I lower my voice.
お前がやれよ。いい声してるだろ。
She gives me a look of sudden astonishment.
バカじゃないの？
She whispers back.
こっちが言いたいセリフだっての。 困ったわね。あ、そうだわ。この朗読劇は1年生だけでなく2年生とも合同なの。普段は触れ合えない上級生たちとも仲良くできるのよ。
Though she makes this addition cheerfully, the class is still hesitant.
まあ、そういう反応になるよな。
Back when we had the case of the disappearing bunnies, there were some students who felt they couldn't go play with the rabbits because the second years were in charge of them. It's one thing when you're members of a club where everyone shares the same interests, but they're probably intimidated dealing with complete strangers. Old couple energy. You're right, you're right. Looking perplexed, Sister Basket claps her hands together as though she's had another flash of inspiration.
そうだわ。推薦してもらうことにしましょう。これなら皆さん手を挙げやすいわよね。
What?
それは。
Erika admitting she likes Chidori's voice. I don't know if it's such an admission. Like, on the surface it looks like that, but underneath I think she was just like pushing the topic away into her lap. Like, why are you asking me? You do it. You know. The president raises her voice to object to a proposal that, while far from malicious in intent, is deeply cruel, yeah.
ねえ、花火師さん、誰が良いかしら?
The president falls silent.
だったら
My classmates turn to goggle at me when I raise my voice. It's not a bad feeling.
白羽を押すよ。本好きだし、図書委員だし、朗読くらいお手の物だと思うしね。
Yeah, but if she doesn't want to do it, then now she's gonna feel peer pressured into doing it. And it's not gonna be good. poor Sue.
落ち着いたいい声だ。なあ、イン。ええ、スオさんならいいと思うけれど。私は無理よ。そんな大役。
Yeah, it all depends if she would want to. Yeah. I'd recommended her thinking that this would be the perfect test run for her newfound optimism. But Shirahane is still Shirahane, of course. Yeah, it's the most, like, the worst possible choice you could make. In terms of her being open to public speaking. She is not. She's gonna struggle with this. Erika trying to find a sacrifice before she gets nominated. Yeah, that's why Dalia's idea, it just doesn't work. Because you might look at a classmate, and even with good intent, you could look at a classmate and feel like, oh, they're great, they love reading, they have such a great voice, they're super nice, they would do great at this, right? But the moment you nominate them, you've put them on the spot. And if they don't have the desire to do this, now there is no avenue for them to say no, because they kind of feel pressured to do it. And that will make it 10 times worse. For them.
そうそう、伝え忘れていたけれど、朗読劇で読む本は既存の作品でもいいし、自分で作ったお話でもいいのよ。
Oh, that's cute.
へえ、なら適任じゃん。白羽小説とか書いてそうだしさ。
Again, with piling responsibilities on her shoulders that she did not sign up for.
そんな書いてないわ。
I can't help but smile how sweet she looks, on the verge of tears. The president and the Sasaki sisters seem to be of the same mind. I bet they're all happy to see the old Shirahane again, rather than the one pretending everything was fine. This is a bit much. It's a journey, you know, to go from pretending everything was fine to processing what you're feeling. Maybe sit with it sometimes, and then, you know, slowly go towards a point where you're doing a bit better, no longer as affected as before. But this is too much too soon. Is this Erika's villain arc? Ugh. I don't know if she has bad intentions here. I feel like she doesn't. And like she says, the others would be happy for Shirahane to be involved in something like this. They all believe she's a great fit for it. But it doesn't matter, because if she doesn't feel like doing it, then it's gonna be counterproductive, I think. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It borders on bullying, even though it's coming from a good intent.
以前既存の作品を自分流にアレンジして朗読した生徒もいたわ。はいはい、アレンジってどういうことですか？その時はとある童話だったのですけど、モチーフはそのままに話の筋をところどころ変えていたの。面白かったわ。
No, no, no. Suo must be protected. She is precious and pure and fragile.
だってさ、それくらいならできるんじゃね？
She regards me resentfully for a moment, but then...
既存の作品を手直しする脚本ならいいです。
She answers, her cheeks flushed bright red.
うまくかわしやがったな。
She stands up and gives a bow as everyone claps, and then sits back down and hides her face. No one even asked her, do you want to do this? I don't like this. This feels not comfortable.
よかったわね、八重垣さん。そうですね。面白くなりそうだ。
Are you really gonna get away from this scot-free? Like, you nominated someone else, now you're gonna sit on the side and see how it goes, but... You get some responsibility too, don't you? Please, Dahlia, please don't let me down. What could she have done? What else could she have done? I don't know.
白羽さんが脚本を書いてくれるのですもの。
There it is. Thank you, Dahlia.
頑張らないといけないわね。
Thank you. Yes, yes. The music stopped too. There we are.
白羽さんの脚本なら朗読劇に出るということでしょう？
Oh, how the turntables. She announces my involvement, feigning ignorance. See how it feels?
いや、違う。おお、そうだったんだ。だからスオちゃんがいいって推薦したんだね。おい、なるほど。それなら納得できるですよ。
See, there you go. You don't have the possibility now to say, oh no, I don't want to do it. You have to do it. Remember, the number of times it doesn't backfire is always 0. Yep, alright. Like a boomerang, it's come back. It's the law of nature. After the momentary commotion has died down.
楽しみだわ。お願いね、八重垣さん。
Applause echoes through the classroom as though the president's words have sealed the deal. At this point, all I can do is hang my head in acquiescence.
ご愁傷様。映画のスティングみたいだ。何？うまく騙された気分だよ。クソ。
I think you pulled a fast one on yourself. She gives me a rare smile as I hang my head.
人を呪わば穴二つよ。
Yeah? She glows.
ああ、そうかい。それじゃあ。
As the last claps peter out, I raise my hand.
穴はもう一つ残っているんだよな。
I give her my cat-like smile.
え？
She's gonna nominate Chidori as well.
どうしました、八重垣さん。まさか辞退するのでは？いえ、そうではなく、高崎さんも読み手として推薦したいのですが、いかがでしょうか？高崎さんをですか？はい、私としても 解除してくれる網手がついていてくれると心強いです。
After putting her hand to her chin in thought for a moment, Sister Basquiat nods.
そうですね。委員会や部にも参加していないようですし、時間は空いてるでしょうしね。では、八重垣さんと高崎さん、お願いできますか?
Can't say no at this point. With me already having cleared away any potential impediments to her involvement, Takasaki turns her irritated gaze in my direction.
はい。
Sensing that resistance is futile, she mutters her quiet but unambiguous consent. Ah, consent is a big word here. I feel like there was none of that, but okay. After class.
ひどいわ、八重垣さん。わかった。悪かったって。
As I let the red-faced Shirahane's scolding wash over me, Takasaki, who is pushing along my wheelchair, taps me on the head. On the head? I offer her an apology of her own.
これは貸しよ。へいへい。分かっているの？今度カツレツ食べさせてやるって。いいわ。休戦しましょう。
She agrees to my offer after thinking it over for a moment, then I'd nod. Then she reminds me that if I try and pull anything else, it'll be open war again. I don't know, how is this a reward or something? Because if Chidori also wanted to have cutlets, she could just get it, right? It's not like she's not allowed to get her own, so why is this I don't know. Okay. It feels like too little for what Erika has done. Chidori isn't very demanding, she just wants a cutlet. Yeah, one that she could have just gotten for herself, but okay. Food again. Sorry, Bear. She wants to be fed. I see. I see. So she agrees to my offer after thinking it over for a moment, and I nod. Then she reminds me that if I try and pull anything else, it will be open war again. Shirahane is no doubt pleased to see me put on the spot too. Yeah, sure.
待ち合わせ場所は聖堂よね。
It's not cheating on your diet if you take it from someone else's plate, I guess. Clutching her book to her chest, Shirahane finally comes out with something besides words of rebuke.
ああ、朗読劇に出る上級生とご対面ってやつだな。怖い人でなければいいのだけど。この学院に気性が荒い生徒はいないでしょ？ただ黙っているタイプでも圧迫感を受けるものなんだよ。そう。
Noticing her deflate slightly at my teasing, Shirahane tugs lightly at Takasaki's sleeve.
私は高崎さんのこと怖いと思ったことはないわ。気遣いのできる優しい人だと思う。そう。
She smiles slightly, not entirely displeased by the looks of things. I don't think her cheeks are flushed simply because of the heat. Yeah, I think she likes Suo. Not necessarily in a romantic way, but she just likes her as a person.
この人たらしめ。え？なんでもないよ。さ、着いたぞ。
Or maybe I'm completely off base, I don't know. The chapel is adjacent to the old school building. I gaze up at the stately building as the heavy doors come into view.
あの先輩だけはやめてくれよ。
Senpai? I drive away the specter of a certain hyper-upperclassman I've recently had the misfortune of running into a lot, and ask Shirahane to open the door.
当たりだったか。
Shirahane makes a questioning noise, but I brush it away, shaking my head. Then...
あなたたちが1年生の読み手なの？
Really? The upperclassman who had been talking with Sister Basquiat comes trotting over to us like a cute little... this word. I swear I listened to it, but I can't say it. Like a cute little puppy. Can we just say that? I don't know why it's so hard. It's hard, sorry.
ご縁があるのね。 2年生はコミカド先輩が読み手なのですか？ええ、私一人よ。いえ、私は違うのですけれど。
Yeah, it's very hard for me. I studied French, okay? I'm okay with all the French words in here, even though I don't have the most splendid pronunciation. I will attempt them, okay? I promise I can do that, but just don't make me German. No. She got a dog on her own. Yeah. She understands at once, so she's probably heard how a previous group performed their own version of a fairy tale.
2年生はコミカド先輩が読み手か。豪華な朗読劇になりそうだ。
I really like her, so I don't know why this is a bad thing.
ありがとう。白羽さんが脚本なら、読み手は八重垣さんと高崎さんが。
And also, like, I would be very happy that we get to spend a bit more time with her because I feel like we have seen quite a few scenes with her, but just I don't know if I know her that well. You know? I feel like I only have like a surface grasp of who she is, so that would be nice. I do understand that probably later we might have like something that centers on her more, but for the moment that would actually make me really happy.
よろしくお願いします。
I guess in the end, because So is just the writer, she can take more of a person in the shadow type of role, so she doesn't have to be in the spotlight, so I guess that works out.
まあ、なっちまったものは仕方がないんで、恥をかかない程度には頑張ります。
She's like a golden retriever. That is true, she's so cute, so pure. I smile and Komikado-senpai giggles elegantly, apparently under the assumption that I'm joking. Takasaki gives me a cold look.
朗読劇ですが、コミカド先輩は何を読まれるのですか？私はまだ決めていないの。八重垣さんたちは？いや。
Our gazes naturally converge on our scriptwriter. My bookworm body blushes. Flustered, she holds out the book she's been hugging.
脚本を書くのだから、私なりに何にしようか考えてきたの。それは童話？
Komikado-senpai makes a guess based on the cover, and Shirahane nods enthusiastically. She opens it to a page she must have bookmarked and shows it to Komikado-senpai. Yeah, what do we call it? This part has a lot of fairy tale references so far. Ah, Rapunzel, okay.
これは髪長姫の話ね。
That bookmark is so cute! I love it. She follows this with a mention of Grimm's fairy tales, and I nod in recognition too. Then...
あ、髪長姫って何?
You know, with long hair. A scary story. Are we gonna scare her? Or are we just gonna give the normal answer? Yeah, it's the normal answer, okay. I instinctively have the urge to tease her, but... Yeah, for once we don't take the unhinged option.
Rapunzel だよ。ほら、あれって塔の上から髪をロープ代わりにするくらい長かったろ?
When I say this, it's like a light bulb goes off over her head. She gives me a vigorous nod and then a few more for good measure. Cute!
そうか。そうね。言われてみればそうだわ。伊達に承知じゃないからな。
I'm not used to having people compliment me to my face, and I turn away in embarrassment.
ありがとう。
I carry on pretending I didn't hear her whispered thanks.
ラプンツェル、いいと思うわ。これならみんなも知っていますしね。なぜみんなが知っているといいのです？原本をアレンジするって言っただろ。もともと筋を知らなきゃアレンジしたところも伝わらない。
Yeah, I mean, given the original version of the story, please change quite a bit. If you're gonna read this to kids, it's... no. No. I swear, original fairy tales are really out there. Really out there. There was such a sweet exchange. I'd feel a little guilty going back and choosing the other option. Yeah. No, I don't particularly, don't misunderstand me. I don't like the unhinged options. I'm very happy when we can pick something like chill. Thank you. I appreciate that sometimes we can take a break from the crazy stuff. Okay.
笑いどころがわからなきゃ聞く側も混乱するってこと。
She scratches an eyebrow, satisfied with my explanation. Komikado-senpai hands me the book, which I've been trying to peer across at. I scan over the text.
ああ、そうか。グリム童話の原本。
Yes, that's how they are.
何？私にも見せて。18歳未満には渡せないな。
Yeah. Despite my words, I let her grab it from me. I watched Takasaki from the corner of my eye as she reads through it with a serious look on her face. I then turned to Shirahane, whose brows are furrowed anxiously.
ま、きつい表現はアレンジするだろうから問題ないんじゃないか。物語の長さ的にも聞き手側が飽きないくらいだしな。
Is Erika going to be the prince?
よかった。
Sister Basket places a hand on Shirahane's shoulder as she clasps her hands together in relief.
でも、ラプンツェルって役が夫婦、魔女、王子、ラプンツェルの5人必要だろ?
It's whatever brings Erika to opening up to people depending on the situation, so the crazy option wouldn't do it for her in this exchange, yep. Alright. Yeah, I guess so. I'm happy. I'm happy we could make that choice.
私たち2人しかいないんだし、どう振り分けるんだよ。夫婦役はジノブンと一緒に私がやろうと思っているの。もう一人は
Starts with the word tax hunt. Oh god, Bea. Replace the T's with D's for Dogo. Dax hunt. I'm so sorry, I can't do it. That's so bad. No, no, I'm so sorry. That's all very creative though. Very, very creative. Thank you, Bea. The series is all about growth, and yellow choices are often ones that makes the character remain stagnant, which is reflected on the endings. Ah, okay, I see what you mean. Alright. Stagnant versus growth. I didn't think of that. I was thinking it more like, what would this character actually say in this moment? But now that you put it that way, yeah, I see. The choices were a lot easier for me to intuit in this game than Printemps. Okay. Right, so that just leaves one extra part. Her troubled gaze lands on Sister Basket. Sensing that what it is she's being asked, Sister Basket flaps her hands in front of her chest like a little girl.
私は無理よ。教職者は参加できないの。生徒でないと。
Sometimes one answer is kinda crazy in the Erika way, but the other option is cold or needlessly formal or straight up dismissive, which is worse for her. Yeah, I see.
そうですよね。それじゃあ。
Will we have another person join? A person who actually gives more princely vibes than Erika, but okay, let's see. From the side, Komikado-senpai quietly raises her hand, her cheeks flushed.
私もご一緒するというのはダメかしら。
Oh, I thought she was already joining. Wait, I'm so confused. Is she joining or not?
コミカド先輩が？ねえ、読み手に選ばれてから2回への会の記録を調べたのですけど、1年生と2年生合同での朗読劇の記録もありましたし、私としてもみんなでやった方が楽しいと思うな。
That's what I thought from the beginning. I'm so confused, sorry. Sister Basket is nodding very vigorously in agreement with Komikado-senpai's proposal.
そうね。 合同で行ったことも幾度かありますし、問題はないわ。ただ合同となると少しお話を長くする必要があるけれど。
She looks at us as though to ask if this will be okay. When she sees Shirahane nod, she smiles.
八重垣さん、高崎さんはどう？いいかしら。こっちは構わない。ええ。それではよろしくね。
Takasaki looks a little bewildered when Komikado-senpai bows her head to us. Shirahane opens the book she's reclaimed from Takasaki and massages between her brows.
配役については夫婦役は私がやるとして、魔女と王子、そしてラプンツェルだけど。それなら初めに読み手として決まったのは八重垣さんだから、主役は八重垣さんがするべきだと思うわ。私がラプンツェル役ですか。
I instinctively want to stick my tongue out with a blah, but logically that leaves the witch and the prince. Both roles seem like they'd require a decent amount of acting talent and practice. Suwat is somewhat of an enigma, so I think that's intentional, at least in early chapters. Yeah, I guess so. It also took me a while to get used to her, just from the perspective of kind of understanding where she's coming from and being able to more or less predict what she would say or do. Yeah.
まあいいけどさ。珍しいわね。いいんだよ。それでお前は魔女と王子どっちの役がやりたいんだ？私は。
So we're gonna have Nerine, who is the most Rapunzel-looking person in the group, play the witch or something? Oh, that's so weird. Looking rather dangerous, she narrows her eyes and considers the choice carefully.
あなたは私にどちらの役を選んでもらいたいの？
She asks my opinion, still with that scary look on her face. The witch, it suits you. The prince! Let's see. The prince, yes.
ま、どちらかといえば王子役なんじゃないか。
We gotta have our ship with the couple. Okay, okay.
そう、私が王子役。
I'm a little puzzled to find her smiling somewhat happily at that.
髪の長さ的にお前だろう。コミカド先輩が王子じゃ、髪が長すぎてなんか柄じゃないしな。
I don't know if that's a criteria because you have the shortest hair. And yet you're playing Rapunzel, so...
そう、髪の長さからなの。
The undertone of disappointment there. Aww. And now she's looking sad. I don't get the sudden 180. I thought Erika was the least dense character. She's proving that she's not. Erika had to ruin it with her logic. Erika's zero riz. Ay, ay, ay. In any case...
役を決めるってのなら朗読劇なんだ。一番手っ取り早い方法があるだろ。
I make a sudden declaration.
役を決めるなら
In response to my bookworm buddy's question, I point to the book she's holding.
二人で王子役をやってみたらいい。魔女は老婆とはいえ女だけど、王子は男だろ。声を作らなくちゃいけないんだから、とりあえず二人の声を聞いてみないとじゃないか。
Ah. Shirahane nods at my
確か
observation.
にそうね。お願いできますか、コミカド先輩、高崎さん。
They look a bit awkward, but both nod. I pick out a section from the book and ask them to read it aloud. Komikado-senpai goes first.
ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し、外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てば、どんなに愉快だろう。
Oh my god, I would follow her everywhere. What? This is so good. Everyone is dumbfounded when Komikado-senpai takes the book in hand and speaks the lines confidently without a trace of her previous bashfulness. Oh, so cool. I love people who kind of transform themselves when they're acting a role. and you see this kind of sides of them coming out that you don't normally get to experience. That's very cool.
どうかしら。
Oh!
素晴らしいです。
Back to being shy again, she passes the book to Takasaki.
一発頼むぜ。
She ignores me and takes a couple of steps forward. And then, with the book in one hand, she furrows her brow a little uneasily.
ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し、外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てば、どんなに愉快だろう。
Yeah, absolutely, I agree, Javelin. I agree. This doesn't sound like a prince at all. Sorry, Chidorin. After she's finished, her cheeks redden gradually.
魔女役が決まったな。
Listen to how Chidori trails at the end of words and phrases. Wait, what do you mean?
ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し、外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てば、どんなに愉快だろう。
Uh-huh, I see. And you can compare that. Wait, I went a little bit too far. With Nerine.
ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し、外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てば、どんなに愉快だろう。
It's obvious. My voice echoes cruelly through the chapel. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, she does. I knew that we'd have to practice for the recitation, but since we decided on doing our own version of the story of Rapunzel from Grimm's fairy tales, I didn't think we'd be on the hook for it until the script was actually ready. Which Suo then did in one night. Until then, however, all our time has been put aside to learn the fundamentals of recitation under Sister Basket. Oh, I see. At first, I was sure we could have left it till after the script was done, but...
さあ、コミカドさん、読んでみて。お母さん、今帰ったよ。具合、大丈夫なの？
Good luck with work, no worries. Thank you so much for dropping by and for checking the VOD on YouTube. Thank you. Take care. Komikado Senpai is playing the role of Giovanni in Night of the Galactic Railroad.
ああ、ジョバンニ、今日は涼しくてね。私はずっと具合がいいよ。
An excited girl in love. Oh. Yeah, I guess it can be that too. Takasaki is playing the role of his sick mother.
すいません、一度止めましょう。
Yeah, she's a little bit too happy for the mother of a sick son, but okay. Sister Basket has us jot down notes on our scripts indicating intonation, stress, where to take pauses, and so on. The annotated script then serves as a kind of sheet music. It's like a blueprint with symbols denoting stresses, pauses, changes in perspective, and points of greater emphasis in the script. Perhaps it is best to think of it as akin to the music an orchestra has to read from.
八重垣さんも聞いているだけではなく、耳で稽古をしてくださいね。わかりました。
There's a lot for us to practice even without our script.
真っ赤で何が何だかわからないな。
Red squiggles. Even though I am the one writing notes, my script has ended up covered in red lines and circles. Right now we're on the third chapter set in Giovanni's house, with Giovanni himself and his mother. I don't even appear in this scene. Sister Basket is pointing to a passage in Komikado Senpai's script and talking about how we should inject emotion into our lines. And how, when there's a need for emphasis, we have to pour the feelings we want to express into our words. She's really quite zealous.
思った以上に大変ね。ああ、朗読なんてただ音読すればいいだけだと思ってたんだ。
I was about to say, remember what Erika said? Like, what's so special about reading out loud? We both stand back and watch Sister Basket's enthusiastic lecturing for a moment.
こんなに繰り返し一つの小説を読むのなんて。私だって魔王数何度も繰り返し読むってのは久しぶりだよ。親父のお宝本以来だ。
Continuing in this jokey manner, we keep up with our training until the script is finally finished, which ends up being 4 days after we start practicing.
そこの美しい人
Oh, and that sounds amazing. Since the choir club is using the chapel, our first run through together takes place in an empty classroom after class.
君に会いに来たんだこっそりと城を抜けてきた
Listening to her sonorous tone, you can almost see the figure of the handsome prince in her place. Aww. Oh, that's so cute.
可愛いお前が野蛮な外界の人間にさらわれでもしたらどうするというの
And then there's Takasaki.
いい子だ分かったのなら決して塔の外には出てはいけないよ
The witch in Shirahane's version of the tale looks like a young woman. So although she has an old-fashioned way of speaking, there's no need for Takasaki to put on a voice, which is a relief.
では次は八重垣さん
Sister Basket urges me to read.
おばさま分かってくれたかいラプンツェルそうね心配させてごめんなさいおばさまの言う通りだわ
Okay, Erika is the worst. At least Chidori is not experienced at this, you can sense that, but she's putting in an effort. Erika is like, what is happening?
そこまで
I know.
どうしたの八重垣さん一人で音読しているときは上手にできるのになんででしょうね
Sister Basket is looking at me with a troubled expression, but I know exactly why I'm unable to do it now.
女言葉がこんなになれないなんて
That's the issue. yeah, I guess it's a cute moment for her. Usually I speak in a far more masculine manner. However, the Rapunzel in Shirahane's script has an archaic style of speech fit for a princess. I'm not at all suited to it. Plus,
八重垣さんもう少しだけラプンツェルになったつもりで話せないかしら努力しているつもりなんですそうまだ初日ですものねこれから上手くなっていけばいいわ
she clasps her hands in front of her chest and smiles. However,
しっかりやりなさい主役なのでしょ分かってるよ
and I do know I struggle to emphasize with other people. I struggle to empathize with other people's feelings. I know that. But can a person who throws up walls between themselves and others ever really put themselves in someone else's shoes, even if it's just a character in a novel? Deep. Adorable Chidori, yes. Yeah, it's very cute. Everything that's happening is very cute.
こいつはあ、八重垣ちゃん早く行かないと次のバレエの授業遅れちゃうよええ、分かっていますわ
What is happening? Is she now doing it in real life to practice? What? It's here. Oh god.
あ、でも八重垣ちゃんはレオタードに着替えないからえどうしましたのいちごさん
It is a simple question, but she leaps backwards as though confronted by some ferocious carnivorous beast.
八重垣ちゃんが
She's broken.
壊れた
壊れた She's shocked, as we all
早
are.
く行きましょうほらリンゴさんもご一緒にこれは新たな七不思議の匂いがしてきたですよ
This sounds like how Natsuki wished Jessica would speak. It's pretty much this. What the heck? No, what? Okay, sorry, I need a moment to collect myself. What the heck? Okay. It has the whiff of a new entry to 7 mysteries. Oh, Ringo. Oh, Ringo, you're so cute.
Hi?
Hi.
乗り移られるタイプの怪異。まさか一番警戒心がありそうな八重垣ちゃんが。何をおっしゃっているのか。そうだよ。まずいよ。これって高い熱出てるよ絶対。
Before I have time to do anything, she's pressing her own forehead against mine to check for a fever. Oh god, I'm tearing up from the laughter. Oh gosh.
熱くないよな。熱なんかあるか。
There it is. There it is.
わかった。
Of course.
普段から女言葉になれればなんとかなるかと思ったけれど。辛いことがあったら相談してほしい。ね、八重垣ちゃん。
I can't be something I'm not, of course. I leave a long sigh as the stubborn Sasaki continues to pester me. Oh my god, my eye really got... It's throwing a party. The practice sessions continue, with me still unable to get into character.
どうしてもラプンツェルの気持ちがつかめない。
I complained to Sister Basket. I've voiced my concerns, but... Oh gosh, what's happening? Sister Basket is standing incredibly close. She's practically nestled up against me, so she too can read over my script.
今日も君に会いに来たよ。夜の帳を越えて。
Oof, Dahlia as the prince. She gazes at me, murmuring her lines in a masculine tone. I feel a strange shiver run not just down my spine, but through my entire body. It's not an unpleasant sensation, in fact, it's quite nice. Basket root.
嬉しいわ。あなたを待っていたのよ。
I whisper timidly. The sound seems to come not from my own mouth, but that of a fragile maiden.
ラプンツェル、今日はどんなお話が聞きたいんだい？
I can smell that sweet scent particular to adult women coming from her. Her body pressed so close to mine that I can feel her heat. Oh. But the words she's murmuring are those of a man. The contradiction has thrown me off completely, and when I try to read the script, the words seem to swim on the page.
落ち着いて。
Sister Basket whispers in my ear, her voice back to its usual tone.
今のところちゃんとラプンツェルができているわ。演劇風にしたのは正解だったわね。
Right. When I'd voiced my complaints to Sister Basket, she'd suggested putting a hold on the group readings and hold individual sessions. So we've been doing that for a while. However,
演劇風にやったらどうかって言ったのは私だけど。
even though I got Sister Basket to play the part of the prince,
先生がこんなに乗りやすい人だったなんて。
she is in character. So yeah, I guess it involves the level of getting carried away.
そろそろ落ち着いたようね。続けますよ。あ、はい。
Completely engrossed in her role as the prince, Sister Basket draws even closer to me, wrapping an arm around my waist and gazing fervently into my eyes.
ねえラプンツェル、君はここから出た方がいい。なぜ？君も世界が知りたいと言っていたじゃないか。こんなところでは息が詰まってしまうだろう。
I see the face of her prince arguing his case with passion.
それはきっと楽しいでしょうね。見たことのない新しい出来事が満ち溢れて。
Oh, that sounds good.
なら行こう。私と共にたくさんの街を巡り、そして 城で暮らそう。
I suddenly have a vision of Shirahane, who of course wrote the script. She herself is trapped in a prison of her own. And the one trying to break her free is...
私はおばさまを置いてはいけないわ。きっとおばさまは
her tireless protector, determined to keep her from harm, even as she's unable to break free. That's...
悩むのもいい。だが考えていてほしいんだ、ラプンツェル。
Subtext. I've learned that in recitation it's important to read between the lines as well. I'm pretty sure that after this line, there's a kiss! Sister Basket's lips are suddenly bearing down on mine, and hot blood rushes to my face.
先生、よかった。ちゃんと役をつかめたようね。あ、はい。心ここにあらずといった風でしたよ。それほど役に入れたのなら、もう問題ありませんね。
She's still incredibly close to me, and I nod silently, lacking the spirit to make my usual jokes. Perhaps noticing this, Sister Basket breaks into a smile and addresses me in a kindly tone.
ねえ、八重垣さん。なぜ赤ちゃんの声が大きく誰にでも届くかわかる？ええ。それはね、伝えたいという気持ちが純粋だからよ。赤ちゃんは言葉を喋れないでしょ。だから喋れない分、その言葉を泣き声にして響かせるの。
It's a nice thought. All the same...
浜の弱な私には無理な理論ですね。いいえ、最後のラプンツェルの言葉、その声には誰かがいたわ。その人を思い話せばきっと伝わる。
You mean Suo? The script that she wrote.
頑張って彼女になりきってみます。
It's an unfamiliar style of speech. I was sure I'd never be able to inhabit the character. But my heart is perfectly clear as I gaze into Sister Basket's smiling face and make my declaration. Nice. Perhaps our private rehearsal was more help than I expected, as I quickly improve at my reading of Rapunzel's part.
すごく上手だって聞いているわ。朗読劇楽しみにしているわよ。任せておけって。朗読劇では度肝を抜いてや。
I've improved enough that I'm now able to make light of the whole thing. I can't quite give up my day job, but I'm no longer so terrible that I'll drag down Komikado and Takasaki.
本当に楽しみだわ。
She pours some cold brew tea into my empty cup. I've joined the president's after-class tea party during the time I have before our rehearsal starts, although I'd have done an about-turn if she was serving hot tea in this sweltering summer weather.
前は変な女言葉になってたもんね。今はもう平気なんでしょ？ええ、心配をかけてしまったわね、いちごさん。どうしたの？私何かおかしなことを言ってしまった。なんだろう、役だって分かっているのに背景が歪むような違和感があるね。
I bet the voice actors had so much fun with this.
ですが、しっかりとお姫様言葉になっていますし、しあさっての朗読劇楽しみですよ。
You can't just say perchance. Why not? It seems that the recitation, which will be held in front of a gathering of students, is being referred to as a nighttime reading.
そういえば朗読劇のこと朗読やわって言ってたけど、どこで朗読するの？なんで寮なんだよ。え？だって部活動が終わって原則6時には寮に戻ってなきゃでしょ。だからやわって言うくらいだから遅い時間だろうし。そういえばそうね。聞いてる？八重垣さん。いや、ずっと聖堂で練習してるからそこでやるんだと思ってたよ。 聖火の合唱での際もどう反響するか考えて楽器や歌での調節をするらしいですしね。
Right, I figured that was part of the reason why we were practicing in the chapel. The younger Sasaki finishes speaking, then takes a bite of grape jello. It has chunks of fruit in it.
そっちのブドウゼリーも美味しそうだな。
Now we're into food again.
八重垣ちゃんのリンゴゼリーも美味しそうです。
Oh no.
交換っこしますか？
Cannibalism joke incoming. I nod, then take a spoonful of hers. The cold grape jello is very soft, melting in my mouth. The round little Delaware grape I've scooped up with it is delicious too. There it is.
共食いをしてしまいました。
There it is.
ゴミカド先輩がいたらまた笑いのツボにはまりそうだな。コミカド先輩と言ったら八重垣さんはゆっくりしてていいの？練習があるんじゃないの？白羽はもう向かったのか？だいぶ前に出て行ったわよ。真面目なあいつらしいな。15分前行動ってやつかね。
I pull out the pocket watch I keep lodged beneath my butt and check the time. It's almost time for rehearsal to start.
15分前行動ならそろそろ始まるんじゃないの？
I give the concerned president a noise of affirmation, slurp down my remaining jello, and gulp down the chilled tea.
それじゃそろそろ出勤してくるよ。
With that, I hand my cup to the president and put my hands to the wheel rims of my chair. I sense an air of discontent in the room. It's really tense, as though someone's wrongdoing is about to be called out, or some secret that someone didn't want made public is about to be revealed. At the moment, I see their faces. Nerine Komikado, Chidori Takasaki, and Suo Shirahane. The air in the chapel grows even heavier. Or rather, I feel my chest suddenly tighten. What? Why? I can tell that something bad has happened.
どうした？浮かない顔してるじゃないか。八重垣さん。もしかして重い日か？悪いがポーチを持ち歩いてないから貸せないぜ。
I try mimicking our glib, silver-haired senior, but it falls flat. Seems like it takes a certain amount of skill to elicit a smile with lowbrow lines like that.
んで、マジでどうしたんだ？暗い顔をしてないで説明してほしいんだが。台本をなくしたそうよ。
What?
は？
Oh, okay. It's a mystery. Got it.
朗読譜をなくしたと言っているの。ごめんなさい。
Shirahane's voice trembles. Her head is bowed. Komikado-senpai strokes her back comfortingly. Still not understanding what's going on, I question my Emitia partner again.
昨日、手直しするから白羽さんへ台本を渡したでしょ？
Takasaki runs through the course of events. Yesterday, after our usual evening rehearsal, Shirahane had said she wanted to change some of the lines and the flow of the narrative a little. It was only a small revision, so everyone had agreed. And we'd all handed our annotated scripts over to Shirahane. Ah, now I understand why there's multiple of these in the OP. I get it now. Yep, mystery time. After practicing from memory for a bit, we'd left Shirahane, who was staring intently down at the scripts, and returned to our rooms. Then...
本当にごめんなさい。
Tears are welling up in Shirahane's eyes. Komikado-senpai consoles her, continuing to gently stroke her back.
で、昨日自分の台本に書き込みをして、納得のいく脚本になって意気揚々と部屋に戻った後、自分以外の台本を聖堂へ置き忘れたことに気づいたってわけか。
It's an error that Shirahane would never usually make. However,
一つのことに集中すると、周りが見えなくなる嫌いがあるものな。
yeah, another part with which I can identify deeply. Yeah, I do that too. I'm well aware of my bookworm buddy's immense powers of concentration, but they can also be a drawback.
それで聖堂内に置き忘れたならここにあるだろう。探せば。いや、当然探したのか。自室に戻り思い出してすぐここへ取って返したらしいの。でもすでになくなっていたそうよ。
So this is not even a question of like, oh, I forgot them overnight and someone else who passed by the chapel grabbed them or something. It was like a matter of literal minutes. Okay. Apparently, they've already checked multiple times to see if they've been handed in at Lost and Found.
私、なんて謝ったらいい？いいのよ。台本は白羽さんのものを複製すれば問題ないわ。でも。ええ、そうね。白羽さんの言う通り、問題ないというわけにはいかないわ。
Takasaki's eyebrows draw together as Komikado senpai cocks her head at her, but she goes on.
各自台本は各々自分のセリフや字の文の注意すべき箇所、そしてどんな感情を抱き朗読するのかを朗読譜に書き込んでいますよね。ただ新しく直した筋は一緒だからと白羽さんの台本を複製すればいいという問題ではありません。
She's right. From the moment I received my script, I've been covering it in notes to make it my own. Which is exactly why Shirahane is so upset about the fact that they've been lost.
なくした台本は手直しで渡すために置いておいた椅子の位置から移動させてなかったのか？
I turn away from the chancel and head towards the two wooden pews at the front, on the right-hand side. The scripts that had been stacked on them the other day are no longer there, of course. I stare intently at the place where we'd left them, then smile my cat-like smile.
何を笑っているのよ。
Conveniently, the developers nerfed Suo's detective skills to sell us Erika. I guess so. We can also take it that Suo is going through something and then focusing very strongly on this thing, so like she doesn't have the mental space to deal with the mystery.
こいつは紛失事故じゃない。誰か悪意を持ったやつが故意に盗んだって言ってるんだよ。
My voice echoes through the quiet chapel. After a moment of silence, my words sink in and the mood turns tense.
そんな犯人なんてただ遺失物に気づいた方が拾ってくれただけでしょ。遺失物が届いてないか何度も確認したと白羽は言っていましたよ。それは。
She starts to argue back, but then falls silent.
朗読劇が行われるのは学院内で承知の事実だ。たとえ誰かが拾っていたとしても、今の今まで届けないのは考えづらい。聖堂内で落とし物に気づいたのなら、学者に戻らなくとも寮に戻った際に届けるわね。
Right. If they weren't able to hand them in at the school staff room, then the most natural move would be to pass them on to the dorm mother. And since that hasn't happened...
でもなんでそんなことを？台本を隠すなんて何の得にもならないでしょうに。
I wonder if Shirahane is thinking back on that incident where a huge fuss was made over the disappearance of some books, which there was similarly little to gain. She stares at me with a complicated expression. Yeah.
本の紛失なら任せておけ。私なら隠すのも見つけ出すのもお手の物だ。
I bare my canines in a feline smile and declare that I'll take my pent-up stress from this recitation business out on the thief. Okay. I guess we're gonna look for the thief now.
それで?
My media partner asks me what we're going to do next. When Sister Basket arrived for our session, we sent her away, telling her that we'd be doing individual practices today, so that the script could be altered. Then I'd ordered Komikado-senpai and Shirahane to check again whether anything had been handed in at the teacher's lounge or dormitory.
古来からこういう時は現場百遍と決まっているんだよ。
Time-honored tradition.
以前にも同じ言葉を聞いたわね。あの時はお前が真犯人だったかな。
Bold of you to assume So had those detective skills in the first place. Affectionately. She has them, she has them. Perhaps it's a more sensitive topic than I thought, as she doesn't make any retort. No, actually, my eccentric Comitia partner is ignoring me completely as she proceeds in casting her gaze over the chapel.
なぜバスキア教諭へ黙っていることにしたの？
Moving my chair in the direction of the chancel, I address her question.
あの時は悪意を持った者が故意に盗んだと言ったけどな。違った場合を考えたんだよ。善意で預かっているということ？そうだ。もしそうだったらバスキア教諭に話して大ごとになったらかわいそうだろ。へえ、だから遺失物を聞いてくる時にも盗まれたことは言うなって付け加えたわけ。
I answer in the affirmative and continue methodically inspecting every nook and cranny of each pew. But, feeling her cruel gaze on me, I can't help but break into a grin.
ま、それは表向きってことだ。実際は騒ぎにせず、確実に弱みを握りたいってことだよ。やっぱり、悪趣味ね。ここであと2年と少しは奉公しなくちゃならない。生きやすくするためさ。
Character building, okay. Takasaki sighs sadly. Maybe she believes me. It's best she doesn't realize my true intentions.
で、今は何をやっているの？白羽が見逃してないかを調べてるのさ。こっちに来て手伝えよ。稽古時間の間だけよ。
I instruct Takasaki to look around underneath the pews.
こいつじゃかがめないからな。倒れ込んだらどうしようもないものね。
Takasaki shrugs, then crouches down.
それで、これに何の意味があるの？椅子と床に少しの隙間はあるけど、台本が差し込まれるほどは空いていないわよ。意味はあるさ。這いつくばるお前が見られるのと、可愛らしい下着が拝める。
Of course.
ふざけているならやめるわよ。
She gets to her feet and glares at me, her almond eyes narrowing. I spread my arms wide and reassure her it was just a joke.
白羽はこの聖堂を探したとは言っていたが、
Oh, yeah.
下校時刻を過ぎて校則違反を犯して探しに来ていた。美に入り才に入りとはいかないだろ。だからそうだな。右側の2列目と3列目の箇所を
She shoots me a fairly icy look, but being straightforward with her seems to have worked, as she now looks to be searching properly.
これは何を見つけた？
She looks up from an area a little away from where the scripts had been left. Caught between her fingers is a small scrap of paper.
これはメモ帳の紙片ね。
Saint Joseph, 3 books. Oh no, were they donated or something? Or the fuck does that mean? She hands it to me and I give it a close stare. In a large hurried scroll is written Saint Joseph. Below that 3 books. And then finally an arrow pointing downwards.
これどういう意味かしら？さてね。ピザ屋の注文ってわけじゃなさそうだ。
That's your thought, pizza order? I stare at the scrap of paper, secretly quite surprised at this unexpected discovery. Takasaki is also gazing at it intently.
これって合唱部の人のじゃないの？どうしてそう思う？この本というのは譜面のことじゃない？譜面を1冊2冊と呼ぶこともあるでしょ？この聖ヨゼフってのは？それはわからないけれど、聖歌の中でそういう曲のタイトルがあるのではないかしら。だからこれはメモ帳を1枚破って譜面、本を3つ置いておいたわと。
The choir club usually use the chapel for their activities, so this train of thought is perfectly natural. However,
私はそう思わない。どうしてよ？この2週間近く、 合唱部のみんなには悪いが、放課後この聖堂は私たちが朗読のもし昼休みの合間に熱心な部員が練習に使っていて、このメモを残したとしても、放課後こいつが椅子の上に置かれていたのなら、私たちの誰かが見つけていただろうよ。
でも私たちの練習以前に書かれていたもので、風に飛ばされて椅子の下の隙間に挟まっていたということは？
その可能性もある。だが私はメモ帳に書かれていた個数が気になるんだよ。
She parrots my question back to me and I go on.
お前も言っていたが、この本が譜面だったら3枚もしくは3冊って書かないか？お前は合唱部員が書いたものだと言ったが、それだと個数に疑問符が出てくる。なぜ普段譜面を扱っている部員が、私は本は台本の本だと思う。だから3つと書いたんじゃないか。
And from the scrawled handwriting, you can tell that the note was written in a hurry. If it was someone used to this recitations and stuff, they'd probably have written scripts, but they weren't able to come up with the right term on the fly, so they hurriedly put it down as books.
私はこのメモ帳のページは台本を持っていった者が置いていったものだと思う。そしてこいつは我々に向けた挑戦だと。
Okay.
誰がどうしてそんな真似をするの？
それはそいつに聞いてくれよ。ただこいつは何かを意味し指しているのだけは確かだ。
A treasure map.
見つけてみろって？
She regards the scrap of paper dubiously. My actual intentions aside, I'm honestly pretty fired up by this challenge. I'm gonna solve this thing, confront whoever wrote the note, and knock him down a peg or two. I can't wait. Someone like me, said Erika, I guess.
とりあえず台本探しに出向くとしようぜ。
Without waiting for the others, we proceed to the main school entrance.
ここに台本が隠されているっていうの？
探してるものとは違うが、目立つのはこの階段なんだよな。
I wheel my chair closer so I can inspect the stairs properly.
何をしているのか教えてくれてもいいんじゃないの？
メモ帳にあった聖ヨゼフだけどな。
I go behind the staircase and look up, but there's nothing to see. I address my Amitia partner who's gazing at me with her usual look of irritation.
聖ヨゼフと聞いてひらめいたのが階段なんだよ。
A flight of stairs, okay.
階段？成人なのに化けて出るわけ？
違う。聖ヨゼフの階段という奇跡の階段があるんだよ。支柱を作らずにぐにゃぐにゃととぐろを巻いたような階段がさ。
へえ、
Okay.
そんなものが。さすが処置ね。
I still, in my mind, think this sounds like the name of some sort of, I don't know, orphanage or place where they were collecting stuff to donate, and someone was like, oh, books, great, let's do that. Let's not ask if they belong to someone, but that was just me. I don't understand why someone would want to play a game with them and take away the scripts intentionally and maliciously. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved home of old moment, yes. This assumption speaks more about Erika rather than about anything else. Yeah, I feel like she kind of jumped to conclusions a little bit here. Especially the way she says, oh no, it was taken with malicious intent. Okay, what exactly are you deducing that from? So far she hasn't really said or shown anything that actually points in that direction. So, yeah. Let's see. She sounds unusually impressed, so I go on to explain it in more detail.
聖ヨゼフの階段はアメリカのサンタフェにあるロレッタチャペルという修道院に実在する螺旋階段なんだ。
Okay. And?
内側にも外側にも支柱がなく、どうやって螺旋階段が存在できているか未だにわからないミステリー物件ってやつさ。
I mean, there's some physics at play there for sure.
それを知っていたからここへ来たってわけね。
学院で一番見事な階段はここだからな。
I feel like you have to make some very serious leaps to think about, ooh, Saint Joseph, ooh, stairs, fancy stairs somewhere. That might then point to the fanciest stairs that we can possibly find in the school. It's just a little bit, I don't know, out there. But, okay. Understanding why it is we're here, Takasaki joins me in looking for clues to the whereabouts of the scripts, but we come up empty-handed.
落書きもないな。
ひねらずに本を隠すなら本なのじゃないかしら。
Takasaki suggests we go check out the library and I head along with her. That's not a bad idea, actually. I peruse all the volumes on Saint Joseph. And also look around to see if there are any paintings or statues based on his image, but... this, again...
台本も手がかりも見つからなかったわね。
労多くして功少なしってやつか。ま、すぐに見つかるとは思ってないよ。
Takasaki responds dryly, perhaps seeing through my false bravado.
一つ質問いいかしら。
She stretches.
そもそも聖ヨゼフって何をした人なの？宣教師とか？
I find myself overcome with fatigue when I hear my Amitia partner's question.
少し前に授業でやっただろうが、聖母マリアの夫の聖ヨゼフだよ。キリストの養父だ。
そうなの？マリアって処女受胎したのだから夫はいないと思っていたわ。
It's true that you often see sculptures and paintings of the Virgin Mary cradling the baby Jesus by herself. While he was part of the family, I suppose it's only natural that people don't know as much about Saint Joseph, considering how few depictions you see of him.
高名であるが見かけない。
I believe that Erika is playing better at that whole logical deduction part of playing detective game than Suo, whom she seemingly just imitates in Erika's own words. Problem is she also does treat it like a game, and this is the result. Yeah, she goes a little bit too far. Soon enough, we're gonna hear her theorize about small bombs. That's a Numineko reference. Oh. I come to a stop, feeling something nudge at the corner of my mind. I sort through the pieces of the puzzle in my brain, convinced I must be missing something when...
もういいんじゃないかしら。
Takasaki murmurs something to me, lit by the light of the setting sun.
何がもういいんだよ。
台本探しをすることがよ。本番まであと3日。確かに朗読譜がないのは痛いけれど、白羽さんの台本を複製して進めた方がいいわ。
ダメだな。
自分に自信がないわけ？
そうじゃない。だが、台本探しは続ける。
Her jade eyes gaze deeply into mine, as though she's trying to see through to what's going on behind them, to my true intentions.
犯人を見つけて弱みを握ることが本意とは思えない。あなたはこの朗読劇を失敗させたくないと思っている。
少しは人の心がわかるようになってきたじゃないか。
なら。
だが断る。あの台本じゃなきゃダメなんだよ。
Takasaki stands draped in the scarlet of the sunset. Everything about her, just like the day we first met. Her demeanor, her irritated gaze.
何を意固地になっているかはわからないけれど、これは対価をもらっていない以上、お遊びと同じ。
暇つぶしか。違いない。
だったら相応にやればいい。あなたの恥は私の恥だと言ったけれど、今のままなら恥にはならないわ。
I think back to that day when we'd both put forth our beliefs. And I smile, my cat-like smile, just as I had back then.
私は嫌だ。
She grimaces momentarily, her almond eyes straining.
そう。付き合いきれないわ。勝手にすればいい。
Her cold gaze and tone of voice linger with me even after her footsteps have disappeared. At dawn, during my breaks, I continue searching for anything related to Saint Joseph, this time without Takasaki's help. Since we decided to keep the loss of the scripts a secret, I have to make sure no one notices. But I quickly burn through all my free time, and before I know it, class is over.
全く進展なしってのはさすがにへこむな。
To go along with the drinks at today's tea party, we're having chilled warabi mochi, or bracken starch dumplings. I don't know what that is. Interesting. I know what mochi is, but I don't know this particular type. Lately, we've all been having all we've been having are Western style sweets, so this makes a nice change.
何が進展しないの？
そりゃお前の胸だよ。春からこっち成長してないよな。全然。
Nice deflect.
それは八重垣ちゃんもでしょ。意地悪する人には黒蜜取ってあげないよ。
悪かったよ。
I apologize meekly. There's no appeal in warabi mochi unless it's got the generous covering of syrup.
よし、ではかけて死んでよ。
As she begins pouring syrup over my warabi mochi, I ask the elder Sasaki sister if anything comes to mind in association with Saint Joseph.
聖ヨゼフ？それって何？
Who's that? Looks like Takasaki has competition.
有名なのは聖母マリア様の夫じゃないかしら。授業で習ったでしょ？
We did. She looks totally blank. Her younger sibling responds, dusting some fallen soybean flour from her lap.
いちご姉は授業でも間違えていましたしね。でも私としては聖ヨゼフの階段が気になります。階段
She gives the shivering president the same explanation I'd given Takasaki.
そう。どちらかというと奇跡の方なのね。
奇跡？
委員長の言う奇跡は聖人として認定されるための奇跡っぽいが。
The elder Sasaki sister parrots the unfamiliar word back.
カトリックとして最高の数形の形が聖人認定だ。それには2つ奇跡を起こすことが必要なんだよ。
Ah, 2 miracles. One is a no-go then. What?
そうだな。歴史でおなじみのフランシスコ・ザビエルとかも聖人認定されているんだぜ。
Ichigo seems impressed. Her sister grins at her.
フランシスコ・ザビエルの遺体は腐らなかったとしても有名ですよ。
The president's braids droop.
そうなの？理由は知りませんが、死後50年以上経ってから右腕を切断した時、鮮血がほとばしったという話ですよ。
I have so many questions, but to be honest, I don't want to know the answers.
お茶会に怪談話は禁止です。
She thumps the teapot down, bringing the conversation to an abrupt halt. I don't know how old Saint Francis Xavier would feel about his tale being branded a ghost story.
あ、ザビエルといえばさ、
いちごさん？
違うよ、怖い話じゃないって。前の学校の先生でザビエルってあだ名の先生がいたなって。
ああ。
I can already imagine what he looked like.
最近はふさふさで容姿もかっこよかったって説もあるけどな。
そうなの？でね、あだ名といえばコミカド先輩のネリーってあだ名かわいいよね。
That's cute. Our other classmates smile wryly at her statement, but nod along anyway. To be honest, I'm having trouble following her train of thought too. Yeah, I don't know how we got here, but somehow we're here.
そういや以前同じことを言っていたような気がするぞ。
いやー、そろそろ本当に打ち解けたと思うのですよ。だからあだ名とか欲しいかなって。
My classmates seem to think this highly amusing, and it brings home to me that the genteel young ladies who attend the school probably haven't ever used nicknames. Names that come from old-fashioned or wildly imaginative ideas.
そういえば料理教室をしている祖母ですが、 料理に使うパティナイフにパティちゃんという愛称をつけて使ってましたよ。へえ、道具に名前をつけているのね。
The president's eyes are sparkling. She has a special attachment to her personal teapot and cups. My other classmates have the same starry-eyed looks. I can't understand their feelings in this matter at all. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
ものに相性ね。本のしおりにしおりちゃんとか言うわけだろ。私はな。ねえねえ、八重垣ちゃん、私にあだ名つけてみてよ。お前ら姉妹には笹1号2号ってあだ名が。
I had a cute nickname for my car once. Oh, what was it? If you want to share. I stiffened as soon as I've said it. She regards me restlessly. It's not the near mention of mighty Kosaka that's frozen me, though.
あだ名、相性ね。
The sound of the president calling my name is distant in my ears as I'm led down a deep train of thought. Oh, it's one of those moments again. Wait, I'm ready for this. There we go. Haha. Why is it that church architecture is such a mess? The central pillars, the walls, the windows, everything is covered in ornamentation. It feels very confused. It's hard to get a sense of perspective. My eyes narrowed. I'm squinting around the chapel yet again when... Ah, you don't remember the nickname? Alright, it's still cute that you gave your car a nickname. A noise echoes wildly through the space, the sound of footsteps ringing out, and then I hear a forlorn voice in my ear requesting my attention.
何？
I ask without turning around, and the timid voice inquires where Yaegaki-san is.
今日も自主練だそうよ。少し前にバスキア教諭もコミカド先輩も同じことを聞きに来たわ。
Oh, her tone is so soft I wouldn't have heard her disappointment if I hadn't been listening for it. This is no good. I can't tell exactly how big the cross is. I drag my gaze away from the chancel and turn around. Suwa Shirahane is now right in front of me. I stare at her intently, relieved that I can see her properly, that she's not somehow undulating. Her long hair is raven black, her slim, supple arms pale. The skin peeking through her collar is whiter than marble. I find it hard to believe that. That's a bit too pale for a human. But anyway, I take a step or two forward, still looking into her face, and the trite adjective good-looking comes to mind. It's the kind of beauty, though, that makes all the secret vulnerabilities of one's soul just ache. I can understand why my amitié partner is so desperate.
何か。
八重垣エリカと仲がいいのね。
エリカさんとですか？仲がいいというより、私が勝手に処置仲間扱いをしているだけで。
名前で呼ぶくらいには仲がいい。
A blush like scattered cherry blossoms spreads across her cheeks. I feel gloomy for some reason.
彼女も無駄なことはよしたらいいのに。台本なんて諦めて稽古をすべきだわ。あと2日しか稽古できる日取りはないのだもの。
そうですね。
Shirahane presses a hand to her chest as though in some kind of pain. It's a gesture that somehow recalls the pure emotions of adolescence, that betrays her acute pain.
なぜあれほど固執するのかしら。初めは朗読なんて嫌がっていたのに。
My words have a bitter echo to them as they fade into the recesses of the chapel. She's so closed off. I turn to leave, wondering why I'm bothering with her.
きっとみんなで作り上げてきたこの朗読劇を 成功させたいと思っているはずです。
That's what I thought too. I'm sure she wants it to be a success. Be that as it
あ
may.
なたのために。
私の？
そう。稽古をせず台本に固執しているのがいい証拠よ。
I've probably been thinking the same thing myself. All that about exposing the culprit, about not wanting to fail publicly, it was
な
all...
んだっていうの？
My irritation grows as I stare at Suo Shirahane standing in front of me. It's at times like this that I'd actually appreciate not being able to see anything.
私のためだったら嬉しいけれど、それはきっと違うわ。
どういうこと？
私もコミカド先輩も高崎さんもみんなで作る劇を壊したくないと強く思っているからだと思う。
She repeats her point again. I'm about to argue that if that were the case, she wouldn't have any reason to obsess over the scripts. But she stops me with a smile.
それに何よりアミティエと共に作ってきた劇を成功させたい、そう願っているはずよ。
She adds to her argument. The words we threw back and forth the other day come to
ない
mind.
わ。
アミティエが大切でない人なんていない。
私は。
I open my mouth to refute it, but faced with Suo Shirahan's deep black, all-encompassing eyes, I find myself unable to say anything. It seems to me that she's looking through me, to someone else. I suppose I'm doing the same. Looking to her, to Erika Yaigaki.
もう少しだけ待ってみましょう。
I look up at the chancel. My eyes are drawn to the cross. Its form is still distorted in my eyes. Alright, then I can come back. Oop. It's been a while since I last saw a live dove. Back in time to see Suo using the lessons she learned from last game. Of course, she'd believe in bonds between partners. Oh, bless her. I spot a dove perched on a thin branch through the corridor window. Unlike the doves in the pictures I'd seen while researching St. Joseph, something about it feels off to me. Something about about its weirdly shiny feathers, its calls, its movements. Its eyes are especially creepy. It's impossible to tell what it's thinking. Sexy Dahlia? I don't know if we've had anything sexier than usual involving Dahlia. I watch it hopping idly around and mutter to myself about its being called symbol of peace. Those disagreeable eyes. I think back to my falling out with my Mitia partner the previous day. Wait, is she talking about the dove or Chidori? She's talking about Chidori here, right? Who would look at a bird and be like, oh my god, that bird has such disagreeable eyes? Okay. Actually, I'm not sure we even had enough of a relationship to fall out in the first place. Still, no one can resist Suo's kindness. Oh, Suo is so precious. We need to protect her.
なんだよ。
Noticing me watching it, the dove has frozen and is staring shrewdly back at me. As soon as my usual feline smile curves across my lips, the dove flaps off. Just like her. No, I suppose I'm the one who ran away. From my house, my family. Okay, now we're talking about something completely different. My thoughts all seem to be taking a turn for the melancholy. I shake my head, then start rearranging the pieces of the puzzle in my brain. I'm just running through my solution one more time before I present it.
確か小ウサギの消失の折にもしたな。
Yeah, but then it wasn't an actual solution. It was more like a burying of the solution. A funeral for the solution, if you will. The face of the culprit in that case flashes through my mind. If I remember correctly, Chidori means 1,000 birds. So it may be... Ah, okay, yeah. See, these things I don't catch. Sorry. I shake my tousled hair again and refocus on the case of the missing scripts. Okay, now we're thinking. First, let's clearly define how did the incident begin. Do not say, please, for the love of God, how did the incident begin, okay? If it's did here, then it's infinitive over here. So how did the incident begin? Sorry, this triggers me a lot. I see it too much nowadays. I'm pretty sure here it was a mistake, but some people just use it purposely like this, so no. Initially, I thought that the loss of the scripts was a malicious crime committed by a third party. Was that original assertion correct? Did the scripts go missing by accident, or was it intentional? They were taken on purpose by a malicious individual. It was an accident with nobody to blame. It was an accident from someone's good intentions. I don't want it to be malicious. This is kind of like a repetition of the bunnies. I don't know. It's weird. It's too vague, too abstract. So maybe someone had good intentions and it led to this. That's what I would say. That's what I sensed from the beginning, but let's see. It was an accident from someone's good... Okay, I like this. Let's go. And if that's the case, why did it happen in the first place? I would assume that's what it should be. And then there's our other mystery. The meaning of Saint Joseph on that note. What does Saint Joseph denote? A nickname for the place where the scripts have been left. A spiral staircase. Jesus Christ Father. A nickname for the place. I think it's... Yes. Oh, I'm supposed to make a save here. Okay, let me save. Save. That's okay, I'm using a guide, so I'm not gonna be doing anything weird. I do try to not look at it, to try and see how I would feel about stuff. I do that with all the choices, but then I quickly glance at it because I have it to the side of the game window to see where we're going. I'm not into the business of just doing this blindly and making mistakes and not knowing where we land, because I would want it to be, since we're streaming it, I want it to be structured and straightforward. I don't want to like meander about, so yeah. Right, so it is a nickname for the place where the scripts have been left. After I finish putting the pieces together in my head, I give the bough that the dove has now vacated a final glare and head for the chapel. I open the doors noisily. Looking across the chapel towards the chancel, I see the two people I've summoned here. So are Shirahane and Chidori Takasaki. Shirahane is smiling, though her expression is somewhat troubled, while Takasaki's usually irritated gaze is turned towards me. The pair of them together look like a religious painting of the angel Gabriel announcing Christ's incarnation. The archangel rejoicing in the incarnation of the Son of God. The bewildered, emotional Virgin Mary hearing that she is with child.
呼び出したってことは犯人を見つけたってことよね。
それはちょっと違うな。
なら謝罪でもするのかしら。コミカド先輩を呼んでないところを見ると、大口を叩いてダメだったことを私たちに取りなしてもらいたいとか。
今日は随分と口が回るじゃないか。なんだ、ムカついてるのか？
She does seem pretty pissed off at Erika. She denies it, although her expression says otherwise, and then she turns her head away.
台本見つかったのですね。
Shirahane says, looking like she's known their location all along, and I nod.
あなた、さっきは違うって言ってた。
No, she says she hadn't found the culprit.
犯人は見つからなかったって言ったんだよ。こっちとしても不本意だがな。
I look up at the cross that hangs above the chancel.
八代譲り派大田事件の時のような話なんだよ。
I'm reminded of that earlier case.
意味がわからないわ。
An interesting way to once again link Chidori to Mahiri. Aha, okay. I see. Of course she doesn't. Takasaki goes out of her way to associate with people as little as possible. There's no way that she should know the details of an incident that occurred before she transferred here.
大山明堂してネズミ一匹ってやつだよ。大騒ぎして結果大したことがないってことさ。
I look over at the pew where the scripts had been left.
そもそもこの紛失事件に犯人はいないんだ。
犯人がいない？まさか自然に起きた事故とでも言うの？ネズミが台本を加えて逃げたとか。
そりゃいい。笑えるが、もちろん動物がどうこうとか言わないよ。風が吹いて飛んでいったとかもな。
いい加減はぐらかすのはやめて。
Yeah, this is so roundabout every time. I run a hand through my messy locks, preparing my spiel just as I'd rehearsed before I launch into my explanation of events.
さっきも言った通り、犯人という悪意を持った人はいない。だが、善意を持った人ならいたんだよ。
善意？
Well, that obviously came completely out of left field. I smile at my Mithia partner's uncharacteristic reaction.
そうだ。簡単に言えば、白羽がそこのキースの上に置いておいた台本を忘れ物だとして善意からある人物が届けようとしたのさ。
ちょっと待って。なら遺失物として。
She turns her irritated gaze on Shirahane, but my reading buddy shakes her head.
職員室にも寄宿舎にも届いていなかった。
とんだ善人がいたものね。結局台本は拾ったかもしれないけど、そのまま届けなかったということじゃない。
I wonder about the hostility of her gaze, but...
なあ、ハリー・ポッターの映画を見たことがあるか？
Okay, will there finally be a movie reference about something that I really do know? I ask her a sudden question.
何を言っているの？
ないのか？お前映画興味なさそうだもんな。
見たことくらいあるわ。
She retorts sulkily.
よく映画の番宣やコマーシャルで流れる曲あるだろ？不思議の国に紛れ込んだような
It's playing in my
BGM。
head right now.
あれって私は映画そのものを指した曲、もしくは主人公のテーマ曲だとずっと思ってたんだ。だが後で知ったんだが、あれって
Yeah,
ペ
it
ットの
is.
白袋
It is
ヘドウィ
Hedwig's
グの
theme.
テーマなんだってな。そうだったの？知らなかったわ。
Shirahane wide-eyed voices her surprise. Takasaki remains silent.
だからどうしたっていうの？
つまり固定観念を捨てろってことさ。私はお前が見つけてくれたこのメモ帳。
I waved a piece of paper in front of their eyes.
これを宝の地図だと思っていた。台本を指し示すメッセージだってな。こんなものがあったなんて。
Shirahane stares intently at the scrap of paper. She's obviously never heard of it either if the solution hasn't occurred to her upon seeing the message.
この聖ヨゼフって名前、私はこれが台本の場所を示すものだと思っていた。だから聖ヨゼフと関連するようなもの、場所を捜索した。だよな。聖ヨゼフの階段と。ご明察。学院の階段も探したな。だが結局何も見つからなかった。
Yeah, that's true.
無駄足だったわ。
違いない。
Smiling, I give my legs a pat, and my Mithia partner smiles wryly back at me.
この聖ヨゼフが台本の場所を示している。それは間違いない。だが名前とゆかりのある場所を探しても意味がなかった。そんな時
I explained to them how the topic of nicknames had come up in an otherwise meaningless conversation I'd had.
あだ名ですか？
Right, I'm curious how that connects.
ああ、そこで物にあだ名をつけるって話を聞いたんだよ。 愛着の湧いた品に特別な名前をね。
I can understand giving names to people and pets. However, I had this preconceived notion that pet names were only for living things. Shirahan has probably grasped my meaning by now. She looks around the chapel, her eyes huge. But Takasaki, still not understanding, asks irritatedly what it is I'm saying. Yeah, I feel the same. What is it?
日本でもあるが、海外は特に建物に愛称をつける文化があるんだよ。オペラハウスなんかにな。例えば、ドイツにあるザクセン州立歌劇場は、もともとドレスデン国立歌劇場って言ったんだが、建物の建築に携わった建築家、ゼンパー氏にちなんで、ゼンパーオーパーとも呼ばれてる。それ以外でも、最寄りの通りの名から愛称がついたり、初めて公演された演劇の演目から付けられたりする例もある。
それって。
She must finally have cottoned on. Her expression softens slightly, and she waits for me to go on.
そう。私はこの聖ヨゼフが場所、建物を指す愛称だと考えたのさ。そうしたら、あったんだよ。聖ヨゼフ劇場、もしくはヨゼフ座がね。
Theater. Okay. I move my wheelchair over to the right side of the chapel, towards the door that's usually kept shut. The door doesn't give off a particular air of mystery. I'd always assumed it just led to a storage room. I turn to my bewildered audience.
さあ行こうぜ。地下劇場へ。
There's an underground theater! What? The route down to the theater, which I had thought was only accessible via a staircase, is half slope and half stairway. Thanks to that, I'm able to descend in my wheelchair without any assistance. As we follow the dimly illuminated passage down, it really feels as though we're crossing into another realm. The air is cool and damp, driving away all thought of the hot weather outside, and the way ahead is shrouded in darkness. If there is a theater, why were they even practicing in the chapel and pushing the choir club away from it? Erika's read the entire Wikipedia twice. I'm sure she has. Although the path which I'm venturing along for the first time feels rather long, I guess it probably doesn't extend that far underground. A door similar to the one we'd entered through appears at the end of it, and I put my hand on the brass knob. Then... that looks like a perfect place where they should be practicing. Why weren't they there from the very beginning? Eh?
ここが聖ヨゼフ劇場なのね。
I nod silently in response to Takasaki's whisper as I stare out at the underground theater. It's like stepping into a movie set.
何の因果か知らないが、この地下劇場で初めてやった演目もグリム童話の一編だったんだよ。
Oh, really?
演目の名は森の中のヨーゼフ聖者。この劇場を指すとき、聖堂内の地下劇場じゃ語呂が悪かったのか。
Oh, interesting. Okay. I slowly survey the interior of the theater, lit only by the dim electric lights.
最初の演目から聖ヨゼフ劇場、もしくはヨゼフ座と呼ぶようになった。
Very interesting. I did not know that about buildings getting nicknames based on the first play. That it's never something that ever reached my ears. The secret underground theater. Yeah. Why didn't we see this coming? We should have just guessed it from the very beginning. As expected, the theater under the chapel is where the witch's gold is hidden. Yep, and it's all like in red. It's perfect. Sorry. I explained the name to them. The meaning behind the words written on the note is quite simple. It was just saying that the 3 copies of the script had been taken down to the underground theater. Oh, that's why it's down. Okay, I see now. The arrow mark was to emphasize the need to head underground to the reader in case it hadn't clicked yet.
学院にこんな場所があったなんて。
Takasaki's irritation dissipates as she looks around the theater. Just then we hear a small cry and turn towards the sound. Aww. Did Sua find the script?
コミカド先輩
Oh no. Komikado senpai? What? She appears from the depths of the theater like a ghost, the missing script clutched in her hand. Seeing this, Takasaki turns her gaze on me impatiently.
違う。犯人はいないと言っただろ。コミカド先輩には先に台本を確保してもらっていたのさ。八重垣さんの言う通り、ここに置かれていたなんて。
The Golden Witch, yeah, perfect.
持ってきた人は誰かわかりませんが、善意からだったんですよ。朗読劇の日にちも迫っている。本番を行う前にリハーサルを当然していると思ったんでしょう。だからここへ置いておいた。
I still think this is way too convoluted. If they were rehearsing in the chapel and they left the scripts in the chapel, why would that person assume, oh, next time they're gonna rehearse in the theater, so let's take it down there? Like, just, I don't know, isn't, to me, the first thought, if I find someone's missing possessions, I would either leave it where it is, if it is like not a space where someone would come in and whatever, grab it or something, or go to a designated place where someone was like, oh, I lost it, it's not there anymore, maybe it's turned up at Lost and Found, or something like that, right? So these would be the first two things. To do something so cryptic, I don't know. Why would I think that? It's so obvious if you know about this place that the person who wrote the memo didn't think that anyone wouldn't get it. Yeah, I understand that. I don't question their intents. I never thought it was a malicious thing. I don't really follow, because like they were rehearsing in a different place. So why would they assume that they would then change it? I don't know, it's weird. Blonde Italian witch, yes. Yeah, anyway.
そうだったの。そう、確かにそうね。本番前にここで一度合わせておかないと。
I mean, sure, granted, maybe, but I don't know. It wasn't right before the real thing, so.
どういうこと？
バスキア教諭が言ってたろ。朗読劇は年に2度行われるって。私たちは初めてだが、上級生。コミカド先輩はすでに朗読劇の経験がある。ここで朗読劇が行われることを知ってたんだよ。
There's a moment's silence, then she looks at me dispassionately. Well, I can't blame her.
ああ、初めからメモ帳をコミカド先輩に見せておけば、すぐにここに台本が置かれていたというのは分かっただろうね。上級生はみんな、この地下劇場の相性は知ってたんだからな。
Ay.
ヨゼフ座のことですか？
She voices the name very matter-of-factly. I may have expected it, but I can't stop my shoulders from slumping.
それじゃあ私たちがしたことは。
I confirmed that we were indeed making things more difficult and drawn out than they needed to be, and Takasaki's shoulders drooped too.
でも台本が見つかってよかったわ。ええ、本当によかったです。
Shirahane takes the scripts from Komikado-senpai, then hands me and Takasaki our copies.
台本を見つけてくれてありがとう、エリカさん。私、本当に嬉しいわ。
Yeah, it is a little bit goofy, but okay.
妖精よ、お前のためじゃない。
She smiles anyway, unperturbed by my curt response. I ruffle my hair, my spirits dampened.
よかったじゃない。白羽さんのために台本探したのでしょ？
Although I'm inclined to deny it, when I see that Takasaki's eyes aren't irritated but shining earnestly.
ああ。
After a moment of indecision, I nod.
そう。やっぱり白羽さんのためよね。
Her expression is pensive, and as I look at her, her profile seems to blur with that of my explosive-tempered older sister. My family. I left them on such bad terms.
お前魔女の役上手になってただろうがよ。
I do like the idea that they could have skipped the mystery if they had just asked for help. Good life lesson. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
対価を得られない以上遊びと同じだと言ったけどな。
Her eyes narrow and she asks me what the heck I'm talking about. I don't know what it is I'm rambling about either. Still, I don't want her to get the wrong idea. I should probably try expressing my feelings more honestly.
中途半端は嫌なんだよ。私はお前の最高の演技が見たいんだ。
Her expression of bewilderment gradually turns into one of incredulity.
見てなさい。アマチュアとプロフェッショナルの違い。見せてあげるわ。
If it isn't the actions of my own consequences. Oh, that's so good. That's really good. My Amitia partner's face is suddenly lit by an innocent girlish smile. There they are, all four of them together. The day of the recitation. We've been rehearsing over and over with the newly updated scripts. There's no one at the theater yet, but in just a few hours we'll probably have a full house. A strange mood dominates the St. Joseph Theater. It's like the air is thick with tension or pregnant with idle expectation. The Academy as a whole feels like a different world, but here the effect is taken to another level. It's like we've suddenly wandered into medieval Europe. Behind me, the theater is lit by hazy yellow light, like when the moon is shining through a layer of cloud. The bulbs look like they're in danger of being swallowed by the encroaching dark. I'm staring at one of them when
似合わないわね。
I hear a voice from behind me. Oh, so sorry, I don't mean to do that. I'm using my scroll wheel and sometimes it picks up on a scroll up when I actually don't mean to do that. Sorry. Right. Scratching my head, I turn around.
何？
Cute! What? Aww, this suits her. It's so cute. Takasaki is standing there, having changed into her costume for the performance. That's a cute-looking witch. Like, what? Yeah. She's wearing an innocent white dress, and there's a flower wreath sitting atop her long brown hair. Seeing such a beautiful, ghostly white figure floating in the darkness only enhances the otherworldly feeling of this place.
同じ衣装を着てもこうも違うんだなと驚いてね。お前の言うように似合ってないな。
I think it looks really nice on her too. Although I'm wearing the same outfit as her, I look like a little kid playing dress up. It's more like the clothes are wearing me. Aww. I've already accepted that I look stupid, but Takasaki's brow furrows as though she's disturbed that I share the same opinion.
なんだよ。自分で言ったことだろうが。
それは。
ところで、今一番セクシーな朗読者はお前だな。
冗談はやめて。
冗談なもんか。明日の昼飯をかけてもいい。
I think Nerine would look even... She would look like a fairy in this dress. I can't wait to see it. I figured she'd get pissed off at my banter, but for some reason she simply turns her head away, looking embarrassed. Embarrassed, as if...
あなたも似合ってないことはないわ。
そりゃ、どうも。
It's not like I'm staring, but she's tugging restlessly at the hem of her dress, perhaps because she feels nervous being seen in this costume.
商用なら済ませておけ。手の。
We still have plenty of time left before the performance, but Takasaki's done these things before, so I'd probably just be preaching to the choir.
どうしたの？
いや、キリスト教の学者でおかしな言い回しだなってさ。
Takasaki tilts her head at me.
あら、似合っているわね。
Aww, there she is. I hear a gentle voice behind me, one so familiar that I don't need to turn around to confirm its owner. Komikado-senpai comes over to us with Shirahane, both of them wearing the same outfits.
先輩もお似合いですよ。
No words needed, just bask in the glory. This is really cute.
そう少し丈が短くて恥ずかしいわ。でも素敵な衣装。
以前の朗読劇ではなかったのですか？
ええ、学院の制服で行っていたから。八重垣さんもとっても素敵よ。
Oh, how come they have special outfits this time?
ありがとうございます。
I respond adroitly, even if it's just flattery. I address my bookworm buddy, who's squirming with embarrassment. Ooh, Suo. Oh, Bea thinks Chidori is hotter. Okay, okay.
お前もなかなかだ。綺麗な足で脳殺されそうだよ。
Oh, Erika.
もう恥ずかしいこと言わないで。
Oh, so cute.
委員長あたりが見たら釘付けになること間違いなしだ。図書室でもその格好でやったらどうだ？使用者増えるかもしれないぜ。
Ay, ay, ay. Everyone laughs along with me except for Takasaki. I pat her thigh.
焼くなよ。お前が一番セクシーだってことは変わらないからさ。今わかったわ。からかっているのね。
She glares at me, her expression haughty once again. Seems like any anxiety she has dissipated too. Komikado-senpai watches Takasaki with a smile as she pretends to whack me. Shirahane meanwhile whispers to herself.
こんなに素敵な劇場見せたかったな。
She looks around the theater's old-fashioned interior. I think of her myself. I wonder if they talked about the shared love of elaborate architecture like this. I move my chair forward so that I'm beside my bookworm buddy, who has stepped a little aside from the group.
理由を探ろうと提案したのは私だけどな。今日はこっちに集中した方がいい。
That's what I'm about to say. But then I realize how harsh it sounds and stop myself just before the words come out. Smiling in my cat-like manner, I address Shirahane, who's now deep in thought.
緊張してるのか？なあ、白羽。
適当にやれよ。失敗したって命取られるわけじゃないでしょ。
She smiles and echoes of words of encouragement I'd given her before the Feast of Assumption. I shrug my shoulders and force a smile in return to her somewhat sad one. Aww. I follow someone on Twitter who was like, but what if Erika were to wear a flower crown? She would look so incredibly cute while reading. Aww. So she said that while reading Planta. Aww. And then it came true. There it is. Chidori is so jelly, but it's nothing a good thigh pad can't fix. I guess. I guess that's the level that Erika can reach, so.
こんなところあったんだ。ずいぶんと立派な劇場ね。これは緊張してしまうばです。
My classmates excitedly voice their thoughts as they step into the St. Joseph Theatre for the very first time. The upperclassmen who follow after them aren't newcomers, so they quietly take their seats to the left and right of the aisle. A fresh wave of nervousness comes over me as I see the full audience facing us.
右脇腹が刺すように痛い。
The recital plays itself, okay.
大丈夫？お薬もらってきましょうか？
待ってください。いつもの軽口です。逃げ出したくなっているだけですよ。ずいぶんと見透かしたようなことを言うじゃんかよ。私も似たような経験があるわ。でも始まれば弱気の虫なんて吹き飛ぶ。なあ、上がらないようにするにはどうしたらいいんだ？
I'm actually being half serious. I question her, hoping to elicit some more tricks of the trade so that I'm not overshadowed by the professional actor in our midst.
これは舞台役者の間での秘密の方法だけど。ああ。手のひらに人という字を。
Oh yeah, that one. You'll be in for the whole ride once it starts. They died of cute probably a few thousand times while reading the scene. Okay, but is it alright to keep going tonight then? Like, how big is it? It might be maybe a bit too much? I don't know.
知ってるよ。
I
定
can
番中の
manage it.
定番だよ。
どうしたんだい？盛り上がっているようじゃないか。
Now that I think about it, she wasn't with the other upperclassmen when they entered the theater.
おお、みんな美しいな。まるで絵本の国の住人のようだ。ネリーなぞアリスのようじゃないか。
Aww, that's so cute! Yatsushiro senpai scrutinizes first Komikado senpai and then the rest of us.
ネリーも素晴らしいが、高崎くんも我が氏も妖霊だ。カメラを持ってこなかったのが悔やまれる。
私のことは無視ですか？そうですか。
Yeah, she's amazing. 15 minutes? Okay, okay.
ん？八重垣くんも綺麗だよ。そうだな。
Is that supposed to be a compliment? I'm not so sure, but she looks delighted. I guess it must have been meant as praise.
しかし、いいな。こんな衣装が着られるなら、僕も立候補すればよかったな。
八代先輩なら似合います。すごくスタイルがいいし。
そうかな。
ええ、朗読劇が終わったら私のを貸すわ。
Aww, I would love to see that. Her face lights up at the offer. I hadn't thought she was at all interested in girly things.
意外だな。
ん？意外だな。
いや、八代先輩は女性的な格好はあまり好まないと思っていましたので。
僕も少女だよ。綺麗な服に憧れたりはするさ。だが、そうだな。股下を考えると、下着がまずいことになるかもしれないか。
She stares hard at the hem of my dress and I start feeling uncomfortable. Then,
そろそろ開演ですよ。準備はできていますか？
Sister Basket calls to us and Yatsushiro senpai sticks her tongue out.
激励しに来たのに、関係のない話題で話し込んでしまったね。そうだ。君たちに一ついい民間伝承を教えよう。観客をかぼちゃに見立てると緊張しな。
A watermelon for a head? What?
知ってるよ。それも定番だよ。
Maybe because of the lead up to this, I forget she's a senior for a moment and retort sharply.
そうか。緊張はほぐれたようだね。
She smiles cheerfully, then, with a bow to Sister Basket, leaves the stage.
さあ、用意は良いかしら？どんちょうが開いたら始まりますよ。
I nod and pat the thigh of my meteor partner who's standing beside me.
失望させるなよ。プロフェッショナル。
あなたも私にいいところを見せなさい。アマチュアなりにね。
We wait quietly for the curtains to open. This is very similar to a dramatic reading Takasaki had announced when we began rehearsing for the recitation. She'd pointed out how each performer would do some very simple acting with their script in hand. And if you think about the style in which we're doing it, where each performer reads out the part for their role, it certainly is more like a dramatic reading. Recitations are usually done by one person. They bring to life all the characters in the story by themselves, old and young, children, dogs, imaginary creatures. Which is why changes in point of view become very important. Here, the narrator's point of view is seen from multiple perspectives, and we're taught that we have to keep in mind whether we're reading the characters from a first or a third person perspective. And it's reinforced to us that we have to speak with an awareness of the authorial intent behind the words. I don't think 2 weeks is enough for me to possibly empathize with the characters in the story. I would struggle however long we had for rehearsals. I think the ultimate purpose of a recitation is to convey the characters' emotions to the audience as though they're your own. And in my case, the emotions I have to get across are
神長姫。
Oh. So. She's so cute.
それは遠い遠い昔のお話です。仲睦まじい夫婦がおりました。しかしその夫婦にはなかなか子供が授かりませんでした。気の優しい夫は妻を気遣い、子が授かるように神に幾度も祈りました。何度も何度も。そしてとうとう妻に子が宿ったのです。しかし年をなしてできた子供ゆえか、妻は何も口にできず弱っていったのです。何か食べたいものはないか？私が取ってきてあげよう。いいの。そんなことをしたらあなたに災いが起きるわ。夫の身を案じた妻はそのように答えました。妻は知っていたのです。妻が唯一口にしてもいいと思ったのは魔女の庭に咲くラプンツェルでした。
A murmur goes through the audience. Rapunzel is more commonly known here as a rampion, and the narrative explains that it's a kind of salad leaf that's nutritious and safe to be eaten during pregnancy. Eventually, the kind-hearted husband, aware that he was doing that what he was doing was wrong, snuck into the witch's garden and stole a handful of leaves for his weakened wife. Finally able to eat something, the wife started to regain her strength. The husband slipped into the witch's garden again and again until...
"お前が私の庭から野草を盗んでいるのを知っていたよ。
妻のために仕方なかったのです。
妻のため？それなら盗みを働いてもいいというのかい？お前の言い分もわかる。だが、すべてのものには対価が必要だ。
対価を支払えばラプンツェルをいただけるのですか？
そう、そうだよ。お前の身重の妻にラプンツェルを与える代わりに、私に生まれた赤子をちょうだいな。
When Takasaki's witch speaks, it's like the temperature in the theater suddenly drops and all eyes turn to her. It's as if the witch herself has possessed her and is now speaking through Chidori Takasaki's lips. The audience hold their breath, leaning forward in their seats at this offer of a deal.
そして春が過ぎ、夏を越え、秋が間近になってきた頃です。約束の赤子が生まれました。ああ、本当に待ち望んだ子だというのに、私のためにこの子を手放さなければいけないなんて。
別れを惜しむいとまくらいは与えてやっただろう。約束通り連れて行くよ。
Ah. With a backward glance at the heartbroken couple, the witch takes the baby away. At first it was intended as mere payment, but as the days and years passed, the witch started to let down her guard around the child, whom she named Rapunzel. Oh, this is so hard to read. Then, fearing that the couple would one day come to get her back, the witch locked the 14-year-old Rapunzel away in a tower with no door. She lived her life completely shut off from the world, but for a tiny window. To Rapunzel, who knew neither mother nor father, the witch was both. She wanted for nothing and saw not a whit of the disease and irrational violence of the world outside. When the witch wished to enter the tower, she stood below and called up to Rapunzel these words.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。
はい、おばさま。
お前の髪はとても美しい。きっと神に愛されているのだね。
でも私はおばさまのような黒くみずみずしい髪になりたかったわ。
Reflecting that Rapunzel's hair took after that of her mother and father, the witch wrestled over whether or not to tell her the truth. She wasn't sure that it was right to raise her like this, having her call her auntie as though they were family. We see the witch agonizing. She wants to keep Rapunzel shut up in the tower. But is that what's best for the girl?
I 私はどうしたらいいのだろう。こんなに悩むのなら赤子などもらい受けるのではなかった。
私はおばさまの子ではないの。
Rapunzel was distressed when she happened to overhear the truth that she was not the witch's child. We see her wonder whether it was right for her to just stay there and ensconced in her tower. The heart of the conflict, those feelings of hers, I wasn't able to step into myself. God, she's gorgeous.
誰だろう、あの美しい人は。
One day, a young prince was passing by the tower when he laid eyes on Rapunzel for the first time. He tried to reach her but was unable to enter the tower. Having fallen in love with the beautiful Rapunzel at first sight, his desire to meet her only grew stronger.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。
He came back to the tower day after day, until he saw the process by which the witch entered the tower. When the witch had left, the prince called out the words himself.
ラプンツェル、ラプンツェル、お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。誰？外の世界の恐ろしい人間なの？いえ、私はあなたに危害など加えません。ぜひ私と友人となってほしいのです。ラプンツェルは外の世界の恐ろしさを魔女から聞いていたため、初めはこわごわと。しかしいつしか会いに来てくれる王子のことを大切な人だと感じるようになっていったのです。王子は来るたびに外の世界の愉快な出来事を伝え、ラプンツェルも外の世界に興味を持っていったのでした。ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てばどんなに愉快だろう。ダメよ、おばさまを残していくことなんてできないわ。
ラプンツェル。
The witch found out about Rapunzel and the prince's secret trysts? What? At first she was incensed. We see the witch shaking with rage as she considers how to punish the prince. for stealing her precious Rapunzel from her, and how to hurt Rapunzel for her betrayal. However,
おばさまは私の家族なのだもの。
Rapunzel couldn't leave her auntie. At hearing herself described as family, all the doubts the witch had been carrying faded away.
そのものがお前をたぶらかすものかい？
あなたが魔女か。頼む、彼女を解き放ってほしい。彼女と共にありたいのだ。王子がラプンツェルをかばう姿を見て、魔女はどこへなりとも好きに出ていくがいいと激情したふりをして二人を塔から追い出しました。
Our point of view then switches away from Rapunzel, and we see the witch alone in the tower weeping sorrowfully. She cries not for herself, but out of regret, for having kept Rapunzel locked away in the tower for so long. We see her finally recognize how much the couple must have cried upon losing their child, if she herself is this upset. The witch's soliloquy tugs at the heartstrings and moves much of the audience to tears. I too feel a burning sensation in my chest. Right. This is her amitié partner.
そして泣き悲しむ魔女の耳にある声が聞こえてきたのです。ラプンツェル、ラプンツェル、お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。魔女は何事かと窓から外を覗きました。そこには輝く笑顔のラプンツェル、王子、そしてあの夫婦の姿があったのです。
何をしに来たのだい？
おばさまを迎えに来ました。
私はこの塔から出ない。出てはいけないのだ。
The witch refused to say yes. Yes, this witch is her amitié partner, Suo Shirahane's amitié partner. That girl who was always so set in her ways, who was led down the wrong path by her stubbornness and intransigence.
あなたが私たちを思い追い出したのは分かっています。彼女の父母もほら許してくれるとおっしゃっています。
The prince who knows forgiveness, even when having taken a wrong turn along the way, probably represents her other amitié partner.
だからずっとずっと一緒にいましょう。だって私たちは家族なのですもの。
Rapunzel, pleading to always stay together, represents Suo Shirahane herself. The ideal ending that Shirahane once desired is this, our version of Rapunzel.
こうしてラプンツェルは王子と魔女と父母と共に
That's so
幸
nice.
せに暮らしました。おしまい。
And in the end, if you kind of read between the lines, somehow, if Suo wrote that, okay, wait, I'll say that later. A huge round of applause engulfs the theater. I give myself over to the applause, my heart trembling as I feel what Shirahane must be feeling. It's been so long since this has happened, I don't even recognize it.
使って。
Even when she hands me the handkerchief, I don't realize what it's for. Takasaki takes it back from me. You're crying, right? Aww.
こんなにも泣き虫だったなんてね。
And wipes away the teardrop that had been making its way down my cheek. She says something like, "You're this kind of, or this much of a crybaby, aren't you?" I think that's what she said. Aww.
地下劇場の奥に人影があったことに気づいた？
Okay. Here it is. We leave it here for tonight. Let me make a save. Very nice. Very, very nice. I'm glad we managed to fit that in. Yeah, and what I wanted to say is that somehow if you read between the lines, since Suo wrote this means she kinda found her answer for why Mairi left. Because if the witch sent them all away out of love, then that's why Mairi left out of love as well. Oh. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. This has been nice. We quit for now. Yeah, so that was really nice. Okay, I'm lagging again for just a little bit. I hope that wasn't too much. Steam, really, I don't know what's up with it. I really think it's Steam's fault. This happens every time I exit the game and then I want to turn off Steam. I see my camera lagging, like me in slow motion. All right, yeah, it's been also a pleasure for me to spend this time with you. Thank you so much for coming. I can't stay and chat too much tonight because I'm very, very tired. I didn't sleep that much last night, so I'm just gonna go chill a little bit and rest. But this has been great, and I will definitely sleep very pleasantly after watching that recitation at the end. I'm glad that we managed to get there and we fit it all in, and it's just, aww. I love Suo more and more every stream. She's so precious. Yeah, Big Nazu, yeah. Thank you so much, thank you so much. I will do that. You too, take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your day and a nice weekend. And we will see each other with some more of this on Tuesday. If you're available, I'm gonna be here as scheduled. Yep. Yeah. Aww. My heart is so fuzzy right now. I'm gonna go to bed with the best feeling. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm grateful for you. Take care. Have a good night.